Good afternoon. Today we are going to take the second part of our fifth chapter, Diversity for Sustenance. So last classes we have studied about the different ecological interactions, what is ecology, all those things we have studied in our previous class. So each and every organism is depending on other organism for food and other purposes, and various trophic level according to the food chain. The position of an organism in the food chain is known as the trophic level. All those things, all these topics we have covered in our previous class, and today we are going to study about the first topic is importance of biodiversity. So we can see what are the points coming under the importance of biodiversity. Biodiversity means the presence of different kinds of plants and animals on our earth. That is the biodiversity. So some points are not clear in your textbook. When you are reading through the textbook, you can see that this is the textbook page itself. First one the given is availability of essential material. So biodiversity provides the availability of essential materials like food, medicine, fuels, construction materials. All these things we are getting from the nature, or the because of the availability of different plants and animals, we are getting food, we are getting the medicine from the nature, we are getting fuel, and also for the construction, and also the construction materials. All these things we are able to get with the because of this availability of essential materials. All these essential materials are we are getting from the because of the availability of the biodiversity. Then cultural services, aesthetics, and then recreation, study, rituals and their practice. Rituals and their practice means religious. All these things, all these cultural services are provided with the help of biodiversity, that is cultural services. Then ecological services. Ecological services means soil formation, how the soil is formed, and that is with the help of the biodiversity. Then prevention of soil erosion. Then oxygen carbon dioxide balance, availability of fresh water, control of flood, climate control. All these services are done with the help of biodiversity present on our earth, and all these things comes under the heading ecological services. The last is the auxiliary services. Auxiliary services means nutrient cycling, then pollination, biological control, seed dispersal. All these points are the auxiliary services provided by the biodiversity. Okay. So study all these points from your textbook, how the biodiversity is very important for us. It's providing food, it's providing fuel, and it is providing recreation and various purposes, oxygen carbon dioxide balance. So under various heading or under various points, so many services are provided by the biodiversity. Biodiversity means the availability of different plants and animals and different organisms on our earth. That means the biodiversity. Then biodiversity depletion. Biodiversity depletion means because of the over interference of humans, as we are exploiting the nature. We can use the nature for various purposes that we have studied now. We have gone through the points, how we are helpful or how we are depending the nature. But as humans are overusing all these resources present in the nature, as we are misusing the resources, as we are exploiting the resources, biodiversity depletion is happening. You all know that our area under forest has decreased Very much. Why it's decreased? In our third chapter, let's regain the field. We have studied that the area under cultivation is reduced. Why? Because all those areas are and all the paddy fields are leveled and they are using for the people are constructing houses and other buildings. Likewise, as the population is increasing, our overuse, because of our overuse, our nature is also getting exploited. So the area under the area under forest, the forest area on the earth is depleting. Depleting means reducing. So as it is reduced, what happens when there is no forest? The organisms living in the forest, their habitat is forest. Those organisms will not having any shelter. That's why they are coming to the where the people are living. They are coming to the cities. They are coming to the villages because their shelter place. We are destroying their shelter place. That is forest. Is it clear for you? So when this shelter place is destroyed, so many organisms will not get food, will not get shelter, and so many organisms that is depending on the forest will be destroyed. So when this organism is destroyed, you have studied the food chain. Those organisms, they are depending on the that organism. When any extincted organism, when an organism gets extincted means that organism is no more on earth. Even a single organism will not be there on earth. When a certain organism gets extincted, what happens? Each and every organism on earth is depending on each other for food. So those organisms which is depending on that extincted organism, and they will not get food. So it will result in the extinction of that organism also. So likewise, each and everyone is depending on each other for food. So when the biodiversity is depleting, it will affect the extinction of, it will destroy the life of so many organisms. And some I have written here some of the name of the extincted organism. Now these organisms are no more on our earth. Example given is dodo. Dodo is a bird. People, what people has done, people killed them and used their meat. And as this process is going on, what happened? Dodo bird is extincted from our earth. We cannot see dodo anymore on our earth. Next is about the passenger pigeon. Passenger pigeon is another kind of bird that has extincted from our earth because of the human interference or interference. Then next is the quagga. Quagga means a zebra. Half of the body of that zebra is having lines. And usually we are seeing the zebra with the full lines. Full body will be covered with zebra lines, but in this quagga, it's another kind of species in zebra. Half of the body will be having lines and half without lines, like that. So that quagga is no more on our earth now. So likewise, because of our over interference and because of our misuse of the nature, our biodiversity has depleted or biodiversity has destroyed. Next about the red data book. Red data book means under the IUCN. IUCN means International Union for Conservation of Nature. Okay, so study the full form of IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. So it's a organization for the protection of nature. So under the IUCN, a list of endangered, those organisms is under the threat of extinction. വംശനാശ ഭീഷണി നേരിട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന organism. Is it clear for you? So a list of endangered plants and animals is prepared every year. That book, that list or that book is known as that data book, and it is prepared by the IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. This is clear for you. It's an international organization which is coming forward for the conservation of the nature. So they are every year they are preparing a list and that is known as the red data book. That red data book about the species that is endangered, name of the organism that is under the threat of extinction or endangered will be given. Then let us preserve diversity. So what is our next step? Because of our interference, what is happening? Our biodiversity is destroyed or depleted. So we have to just protect it. Otherwise, what will happen? Whether we can live alone on this earth without other organisms, can we live on earth? No. Without the plants or animals, whether we will get the food? No. So when this biodiversity is depleting, finally it will deplete the human race from the earth itself. So now the other organisms are getting extincted. Likewise, if this danger is going on, if this dangerous situation is continuing, what will happen? We will also will be extincted from the earth, because we can't live without other organisms on earth. If plants are not there, we cannot live. If animals are not there, we cannot live. So that's why biodiversity, we should protect the biodiversity. So there are two methods for the protection of biodiversity, that is in situ conservation and the ex situ conservation. Under the in situ conservation, organisms are protected in their natural habitat. So where these organisms are living, there itself, they are protected from the attack of humans. That is in situ conservation. And ex situ conservation means organisms are protected outside their natural habitat. So, for example, zoo. They usually tiger, deer, all those organisms are their place is forest. From there, we are taking them to another place and we are protecting them protecting them from the extinction. So now we can see about the ex situ conservation. Now we can see that, which are the examples coming under the in situ and ex situ conservation. Now we can see that. Okay. So first comes the in situ conservation method. In that, the in situ conservation methods are, first one is wildlife sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuary means in this, these are forest areas declared as protected areas. So into these forest areas we cannot enter. So these are forest areas declared as protected areas to prevent the extinction system. The example for those wildlife sanctuaries are Pepera, Periyar, Wayanad, etc. are the wildlife examples of wildlife sanctuaries in Kerala. Next is the national park. National parks, I think you have heard this word before, wildlife sanctuary, national parks and all. National parks are designed to protect wildlife along with the protection of historical monuments, natural resources and geographical features of an area. So not only those organisms in that area, any important historical monuments, if it is present there, they will protect in national parks. Then geographical features of that area will be protected. All these things will be protected in the national parks. Example for that is Iravikulam, Silent Valley, Anamudi Shola, then Madhigattanmala Shola, then and Pambadam Shola are the national parks in Kerala. You have to study these names. Then next is the community reserves. Community reserves are areas protected with the participation of the public. So community reserves are conserved with the help of the important places located in populated areas. So where the people are living, in such places, if any ecologically important areas are there, the people living there should protect that area. Then these are ecologically important places. Local community reserve spread over the district of Malappuram and Kozhikode is an example for community reserve. Is it clear for you? These are the in situ conservation methods. Apart from this, there are 3 more examples about the in situ conservation method. Now we can see that also those methods coming under the conservation method. That is biosphere reserves. Biosphere reserves means these are vast regions designed with an aim to protect world's important ecosystems. So these are the vast regions, important regions to protect the biodiversity and genetic resources. Biosphere reserves example is Nilagiri and then Agasthyakudam include areas belonging to Kerala too. All this comes under the biosphere reserves. Then sacred groves. Sacred groves is the another in situ conservation. These are small areas of biodiversity protected in regions inhabited by human beings. Sacred groves means Pampungavu. Then, due to changes in lifestyle, many of these which were highly biorich, less in number, or much of them are get destroyed in the conservation of water in that region too. Then next is the ecological hotspots. Ecological hotspots are areas rich in endemic species but facing the threat of habitat destruction, and there's no place for them to live. Then each hotspot is biodiversity. Then out of 34 hotspots all over the world, 3 of them are in India. They are the Western Ghats, Northeastern Himalayas, and the Indo-Burma region. These are about the ecological hotspots. So this is about the in situ conservation methods. You have to read from the textbook and you can clear the doubts through the WhatsApp. It's first, as you are hearing all these things for the first time, you may be feeling little difficulty to understand. So read 1 or 2 times from the textbook and clear the doubt through the WhatsApp through my personal number. So study well for your exam and write the exam very well. Is it clear for you? Okay. Okay then, thank you.